I have to make some screws for a crown pendulum like this. That's the screws I've got to make. This is my pendulum, and so I've got to make 6 of them. I've already made, more or less made 5. So you can see that in there. I'm just making the last one now, and I thought I may as well do a quick video, show you how I do it. If I only make 1 screw, then I just normally put a slot in with a fret saw. But if I have to make quite a few, I normally put the slot in on the mill. But sometimes I do it on the lathe as well, but it's a bit more accurate on the mill, and because they're so small, I need to get the slot exactly in the middle. They're only M1.4s, so they're very small, but I'll show you how I do it. I run the file over the end just to make sure it's square. Yes, I know I can do it with a graver, but some of this small, this bit of rod is only 2mm. It's silver steel. The reason for silver steel is that it makes a nice job when bluing. The length has got to be 3mm length of the thread. So I just put a mark on there where I need to go to. There we are, there's a mark. Don't suppose you can see it, but it's good enough for me to see. Now I just turn it down to suit. Need to get that down to 1.4. The head is 2mm anyway, and this is 2mm rod, so it's 2mm silver steel. Silver steel is a little bit harder than normal mild steel, and of course it can be hardened if you wanted it to quite easily by heating and quenching it, but the screws do not need to be hardened, they just need to be blued when I've finished. But I'm going to show you the whole process, but there's no point in me showing you the whole process of doing 6 screws, doing 1 screw sort of on each thing is as I get this somewhere near, I'll give it a measure. I'm only measuring with calipers because it's not super critical. Let's square that shoulder off. Make sure we're on the 3mm. Just a fraction over, so we'll knock that down a little bit. They've all got to look the same because they're all seen, so they need to be as close as possible the same. Well, they're never going to be 1000% the same, but as long as it's not noticeable and they're all in there, that's good enough. We'll have a measure, see what that is. .45. Just a fraction more off, not a lot. taper on the end to give it a something for the thread to start on. A small amount of lubricant. And we'll thread it. I'll put a glove on for this because for some reason I get a load of black crap off this belt, so there we are. Bring it out just a little bit to part it off. I don't part it off completely with the parting tool, but get it pretty close and then finish it off with the fret saw. I could do it with a cross slide as well, but even though it does hurt my hands doing it, I enjoy doing them with a graver. That happens sometimes. Luckily it's bent the other side of the thing, so I haven't lost a screw. Sometimes the parting tool goes underneath, even though it's on, if anything, it's a fraction above halfway. I was lucky there. Right, I'll get set up for doing the other bit and I'll bring you back. Okay, I've got them in the headstock in a collet the other way around. Just going to trim the heads up so they're all, I've got one in a pin voice here just to measure and make sure they're all, get them all the same height. Not that they're going to be sat right together, but just look a bit neater if they're all got the same size heads on as well as everything else. Do nicely, take the edge off and give it a polish up. Finish it off with a bit of 1200. It's only the heads I'm worried about polishing up. Yeah, I'll do that to the rest of them. And then we'll bring it back when I'm putting the slot in. Okay, I'm set up in the mill. What I've done is put it in a collet block, homemade collet block, takes 10mm collets. Put the blade underneath with a piece of paper and brought it up till I can just grip the paper. Zeroed it on the DRO, done the same for the top, zeroed it on the DRO, and using the half function put it slap bang in the middle. Now I don't need to alter that. All I need to do is take the collet block out, change the screw after I've done the thread, because it'll be all repeatable. So I'm going to do that now. I'll do the slot by eye, I think, because it's not critical. Just want a nice slot in it. I think that'll be plenty deep enough. Roll it backwards and forwards just so we get a decent depth. Now I can just bring it forward loosen the collet block off and get it out. I've put the stop there so it will go back in the same place every time. That's put a nice slot. I don't know whether you can see it, but it's put a nice slot in the centre of the screw. Now it's just a matter of rinse and repeat until they're all done, and I'll bring you back when we're on the next bit. Okay, I think I've shown this before, because they're not really a rich blue. I don't worry about really, normally you put them in that one a bit red, you'd put them in a tray of brass violins and watch them go blue slowly. But torsion clocks, they're not really a rich blue, they're just a sort of dull blacky blue. So this is all I do. As soon as they go blue, I drop them in the oil. And then fish them back out and dry them off. I think that's all of them. Yep. They got a drop of oil on them and they'll stay like that for quite a while. They won't rust. They shouldn't rust anyway in the inside the house. That's all they are. Just a nice bit of a job to see, I know, but they're all finished and ready to go. Hope that was informative. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe. Thank you very much.